Hello everyone, welcome back to the Mousillon campaign for Mortal Empires, where last episode I spent 5 minutes actually introducing the video. So today I'm planning to skip over any intros and get straight into the campaign. So, let's start things off with actually taking the Greenskin stronghold of Massive Orcal, something I was planning to do last episode and never got around to doing it for one thing and another. So, let's grab the Red Duke, thank you very much, and attack. There we go, should be a pretty easy fight. It certainly is. Right, let's auto-resolve it. A few casualties, especially among the Bastardiers, are definitely, as fun as they are, I think I will have to swap them out at some time. They just take too many casualties to be worth much. So we'll think about maybe putting them in with Malabad's force when we sort them out. But for the meantime, let's go ahead and occupy. And there we go. Massive Orcal now secured. Now this is not the end of the Skull Smashers tribe. As you remember, they've taken Ubersvik over in the Empire. So I'm quite happy to leave them over there, because we took Helmgard after they burnt it down, and they can't use the underway to teleport past. They have to come and attack Helmgard. And as we're going to be improving the garrison, that's going to make it even more tougher for them, especially if I'm controlling the garrison. So I'm quite happy to let them stay over there until the Empire wipe them out. Although, saying about Helmgard, something I would like to ask you guys to let me know in the comments is some alternative name suggestions for Helmgard. Because, as I said in a previous video, I want to keep the Bretonnian settlements, their names the same, because we are a Bretonnian faction after all, even if we are undead, and of course we want to keep the names the same. But for other places that we're going to be conquering outside of Bretonnia, I would like some alternative name suggestions, and Helmgard is the Reichsspiel, as what the language of the Empire is called. I think that's the name for that. So I would like an alternative name that's fitting for the lore and for, the Bretonnians. So if anyone's willing to do that for me, I'll pick my favourite one and change it for the next episode. So looking forward to seeing what you guys come out with. Now with that said, let's go back to Massive Orcal a second and check to see what we've got here. We've actually got some decent buildings already. Fantastic. So the Mausoleum and the Binding Circle, to be honest, I don't really need them. I don't plan to use Massive Orcal as a recruitment centre, instead I want to use it for economy, despite the fact we will get a slight debuff because of the unpleasant climate here. Now, the reason why I don't want to use it for recruitment is because it takes bloody ages to actually leave the province, whereas if I put it elsewhere, it'll be better. So we'll demolish those two buildings, and what I'll do in the following turns, we'll build a cursed bog in the spare slots. Not because of any reason for recruiting crypt ghouls, but because it will give me an extra income from snail hunting. So by the time we fully upgrade it, that's a 50% bonus. We could even check out the Grey Men and see what they are. They seem pretty cool. They're like a mythical creature that hangs around the swamps in Mousillon. They're supposed to be quite intelligent, and people are a bit uncertain whether or not seeing one is a good omen or a bad omen. But yeah, very cool. Got it from I found it from the wiki, but they feature in I think it's the 2nd edition of the Warhammer Fantasy Tabletop RPG. So if you happen to have it, that's where they are. But yeah, we'll build that eventually. In the meantime, though, now that we've dealt with the Red Duke, the other problem we had is over here, Lyonesse, where if you remember, it's not Duran, it's Durac. I don't know why I had Duran in my head. But anyway, the Truthsayers Council have come and laid siege to Lyonesse. Now, luckily, we were able to get Nicolette and the army we're in the middle of recruiting for the Black Serpent into Lyonesse, but we don't exactly know what they completely got. They've got 3 units hidden. So let's actually grab Nicolette, turn her back to normal, and have her attack. Right. I wasn't planning to attack, and with that balance bar, definitely don't want to do this. If we had the walls, that will help us out. But as it currently is, no. But I can't help but notice they have a giant. Now, this is quite surprising because I've got the mod that large units can attack walls. So this actually has Siege Attacker. So it can attack city gates any of the large ones like tree men, giants and stuff like that can get to. So yeah, I'm surprised they didn't just come in and attack straight away. Maybe the balance bar isn't too good for them if they attack. But yeah, we're not going to do that. The problem is though, until they come and attack, I think we're going to have to send the Red Duke up, which is going to be annoying, because he's going to have to travel, of course, all the way up to Lyonesse, and then because I still want to go after Carcassonne, we'll have to send him all the way back down again afterwards. Alright, well, what else can I do?
Your coming was foretold.
We could send Nicolette and the army through the port to Mousillon, because we're going to have a better defense at Mousillon with the tougher garrison, but that would mean potentially sacrificing Lyonesse, and I'd rather not do that. Something we could do, I don't know what the chances are, but don't forget Bulgars here does have the ability to attack units and assault entire armies. So if we get him out and use him temporarily as a campaign agent, we can ask him to attack. 59%. We'll take that. Success. Alright, let's have a look-see. That's some decent casualty, especially like the Druid Neophytes and that. If we can get a few turns in with him constantly doing that, that's really going to help us out in defending this settlement. So yeah, let's keep trying that out and seeing. Alright, so that's you. What else we got left? The Duke. Oh yeah, Eustache. Now if I remember, the Fey Enchantress, we spotted she had that second hero, that legendary hero. Almwick or something like that, wasn't it? Let's have a look. Yeah, Almwick de Gauderon. We could go for him with 78, 91 for him. Let's just go for the certainty. We get a critical success, fantastic, but we only got a regular. That's okay. That means an extra Blood Kiss, which means, as you remember, we want to try and unlock the final tier of the Blood Dragon Bloodline powers, so we need 12 to do that. So 2 down, 10 to go. I think Eustache is going to be busy for a little while. Right, let's just finish off stuff and then we'll go Foster Terror for the growth and the Vampiric Corruption. Right, Eustache, let's give you Assassinate. Bulgars, I would like to give him Assault Units, but unfortunately we have to wait till he's level 10, or even 11 to get this one. Let's just go hard to hit, we'll continue focusing on his combat abilities. And with that, done. So this actually gives me an opportunity now to continue where we were doing last time with the story of the Red Duke. Because we are coming near the end now, and things are going to be getting interesting. Because I talked about his mortal life up to the point where he encountered the assassination attempt in the desert and was given the blood kiss by the legendary blood dragon Aboash. So, after the assassination attempt, his knights found him and took him back to Aquitane. But at this point, there are 2 different versions about what happens, and I don't know what the official version is. So I think I'll just share both. So the first one is he's returned back to Aquitane, he's resting in bed, becoming more and more ill, coming closer and closer to death. And at this point, people just think he is ill. So the Baron that actually was behind the assassination attempt seizes the opportunity to finish the job. And so, after several nights of him supposed to be unwell and coming close to death, he sneaks into the Duke's bedchambers to finish the job, only instead to become the victim of the vampire he's transitioned into, his first victim. The other version, then, is that after feeling he was, becoming more and more ill and coming close to death, eventually he died. And as I've talked about in the last episode, our Duke of Aquitaine was a very well-respected and much-loved individual. And so, upon hearing the news of his death, his people were in anguish about it. They were so upset and grieving. And so what they ended up doing was actually building a tomb for him to be entombed inside. And after several days, the tomb doors opened to reveal the Red Duke. So, yeah, very, very cool. The story still continues some more, but for now, we've got some refugees to deal with. The Lamian Sisterhood. Right. Now, to be honest, I don't remember the Lamian Sisterhood getting any legendary lords, so while I will accept the refugees, just so we don't miss out in case they do, I don't think we will get anything. In fact, we'll find out in a second when they pop up here. Now, the Beastmen. This actually reminds me of something that was mentioned in the comments last episode with Alvor Wheel. Yeah, what it was, he pointed out that if we actually declared war on the Beastmen, that would actually improve our relationship with the Wood Elves, because we'll have a mutual enemy. Now, the Beastmen are nothing really to worry about, and we got Kazrak right here, but Baston is got defenses, so I'm not that concerned if he attacks here. If he goes after Montfort, then we'll have a bigger problem. But I'm willing to take the risk. He's been taking some casualties because of vampiric attrition, and he's only got Ungors. He's got, what, 1 unit of gore herds? Yeah, I'm willing to risk it with my garrison. So let's click on you to go to diplomacy and declare war. We could have actually gone for non-aggression, but we'll do that. He will eat my still-beaten heart. I don't know. I'm not too sure he knows what a vampire is if he thinks my heart still beats. But yeah, if he comes and attack Baston, we'll deal with it then. But hopefully that will improve our relationship with the Wood Elves. Now, the second thing I wanted to bring up is my sort of plan for the development of our provinces. And I've given us some thoughts onto where we kind of want to establish as our main recruitment provinces, and what we want to focus on for economy elsewhere. So originally, as you've guys seen in plenty of my campaigns, I do like to have our capital province as our main military recruitment area. But the more I've been thinking about it with Lyonesse, the more I think it'd be better to change this into a more economic one. Like, we'll keep, for example, like the Ducal Palace, and we'll keep the Reliquary we will need, because we'll use those two to gain out extra Graveguard, Black Knights, and even Black Rail. But for other units, I don't really feel we need to worry about them here. So if we could, with Lyonesse for example, we could take advantage of the pastures, the fields, and the rally field here, in order to gain a ton of money because of the economy. And even if we were able to try and get the first tier of the... What's the building called? Hang on, remind me... Oh, we can't build it in Mousillon, so we would probably have to build it here. If we can get our hands on this, the Dark Alleyway Fence, that will improve our income even more. So I think between all of those, it might be an idea to have focus on economy here. So instead of having the military there, I'm thinking about doing it in Baston. Baston will be able to upgrade, and we'll have the Dark Iron Pit making our stronger knight units much cheaper for a lot of different reasons. Extra bonuses to recruitment rank, upkeep, and things like that. So I think we'll do that, and if we eventually capture Artois and use the timber for our trebuchets, we'll be able to just send an army back and forth between the two provinces and get an army done very quickly. And then yeah, we'll just focus mainly on other places being economic. Obviously we'll take into account any landmark buildings we can get, so like with Paravon, once we get the landmark building for the peak of Paravon, we'll be able to recruit Pegasus Knights and stuff like that through Regiments of Renown. But that's what I'm thinking anyway. If you guys got any different advice you'd like to share, then let me know in the comments. Now for now though, let's get the Red Duke moving. This is why I didn't want to use Massive Oracle, because look how... This is with Forced March, by the way. Look how long it's going to take him, and compare that to the next bit over in Aquitane. You know? It's a massive length of time it's going to take. It's going to at least take 4 turns. I mean, we could try coming this way. It'd be about the same. Alright, let's get him marching. It's going to take a few turns, but hopefully they don't attack the garrison in the meantime. Alright, you can stay there. Bulgars, attack again.
Our Lady demands it.
Failure this time. Unfortunate, but it's okay. We'll manage. Alright, so you've done that. Aiden, how many more turns have you got? If we're lucky, we'll get there in the next turn. If not, it'll be the turn after that. But that's okay. Eustache, you are exhausted, so I'm not going to use you for anything. But we'll send you up towards Bionnaise, just so we can keep an eye on things some more. Although, actually, I'll send you this way temporarily. Next turn he'll recover from his exhaustion, and we might be able to assassinate another Skull Smasher hero, get another Blood Kiss. So yeah, well, happy to do that. Can actually upgrade Helmgart. Let's go ahead and do that. In fact, there was another settlement that was close to being upgraded, wasn't it? Was it Montfort? Montfort's 2 turns away. 5 turns for Bordelot. 15 turns for Lyonesse. And 3 turns for Paravon. Or Quillis, whichever one we decide to do. Okay. We've got 8,000. Let's, first of all then... 2,600. Yeah, we could build that. I'm not going to jump for the others yet, but what we could do is, over in Bordelot, since we've got the money, I might as well use it. I'm tempted to actually upgrade the port. This will double the income we get from it, as well as extra trade resources. So yeah, we'll go for that. Right, and let's have a final chat with the Wood Elves, just to see if our relationship is starting to grow. Clan Scry, Spirits of Athelloy. Apparently it's still very unfriendly, but it's also saying it's improving, so I don't really know which one to believe. It adds up that it should be minus 20, but the fact the little red arrow is pointing down is not good. We'll keep an eye on it and see what happens, but hopefully the war we've declared is going to help us out. But anyway, let's hit enter and continue with our story. So, at this point now, the Red Duke has awakened as a vampire, and depending on the version that led to his transition, he either basically clears house of any other people that tried to, usurp him from his seat as Duke of Aquitane, or he just tidies up things in general, right? But what he starts doing then is starts recruiting an army using a combination of his own necromantic powers that he's gained from becoming a vampire, as well as his reputation as a warrior without peer, to allowing many knights to actually come in and join his army because they want to follow his lead. And the reason why he's putting together an army is because, as far as he's concerned, the assassination attempt that he survived was actually done by none other than his own brother. And yeah, I personally would have doubted that because of him being a Grail Knight, but this is what he believed. And so he wanted to raise an army to attack his brother. Now his brother now, the King Louis the Righteous, hears about what his brother is doing, and so raises an army of his own to fight them. And so the armies eventually come together and they fight at the Battle of Ceran Field. I might butcher the pronunciation of that, but yeah, I think it's the Battle of Ceran Field. So both armies are side by side, they come and attack. We'll continue the next part of the story in the following end turn phase. For now though, I want to double check. Hang on a second, hang on. Has anyone else noticed that? Not the... Oh, hang on. Feasting on the small folk. Do we want -4 public order to all my provinces, or -5 for the Lords of Drakenhearth? Take our lands. I'm not that fussed about the Confederation. Baston, sure, whatever. This is what caught my eye. So we've got the Phantom Queen Morrigan raiding near Montfort, right? Now that's fine, we can't see it, but sure, okay. The reason why it threw me a bit... Ooh, we finished this research. Cool, that's going to help our public order a fair bit. But yeah, the reason why it threw me is because over in Albion, see that there's an army at the Isle of Wight? She's also led by the Morrigan the Phantom Queen. I think there's been a bit of bug with our mods. We've got 2 Morrigans to deal with. Oh dear. And it looks like the one in Montfort is actually more powerful. Right. Well, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if our garrison would be enough to fight an army. In fact, what do we have as a garrison? A very tiny one. Crap, if we had walls it'd be a different matter, but as it currently is... Okay, let's have a look at this. Let's deal with the stuff we can deal with. Sebastian, come and attack. There we go. That was easy. Well, If we lose Montfort, we lose Montfort. It's just one of those things. We'll come back and take it with the Red Duke at some point. But we'll see what happens with that raiding army and how much they actually have. In the meantime, let's get the Red Duke moving. Okay. What I might end up doing, because of using Force March, we might just get him to be within reinforcement range, and then we'll come and attack him. We'll see what we can do with regards to... Yeah, because that's going to get us there in the following turn. We can't get any closer. Right. Annoyingly, I don't know how many turns we've got left before we start taking attrition. It's so rare that you actually get sieged, I find, in Warhammer, that I'm not too sure. Is it a thing? I'm sure it was a thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter too much. Let's, for the moment... I mean, we could go for training fields, start getting more income. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea, wouldn't it? That would also just double the income for now, isn't it? Yeah, let's grab that. I am aware that it's going to increase our untainted, which is going to be a slight problem when it comes to public order. But, yeah, we'll just have to make do. Actually, before we spend that, let's actually go head back and continue using Bulgars. Success, okay. He's now got live undead. Okay, extra 25% casualties inflicted, I'll take it. Unfortunately, again, nothing we can really give you, so we're going to just go hard to hits.
I will not.
They are taking quite a few casualties around the board, aren't they? It's not as much as I would like, but we're managing. Okay, Mina. Did you finish... Yeah, you did finish Arcane Conduits. Right. Let's actually go for the second level of Doom and Darkness. This will make it an area of effect spell, which combined with things like our general ability to cause fear, as well as the zombie dragon's terror, I think we'll be okay with making enemies run away a bit more, you know, at a pivotal moment. Right, let's have a look. What do we want to do for technology? We could work our way down the Book of Archon in order to go for Dread Animator. It gives us some bonuses for Graveguard and Black Knights. If we go this way, it will just help out in general, as well as work with Karn Waves and Hex Waves. If we go down the Lamian Book of Bloods, we could eventually actually go for Spread Vampiric Covens. In fact, I think that might be the best one to go for. That will be handy for the extra income, but just being able to spread Vampiric Corruption would be extremely useful. So yeah, let's go for this one for now. 5 turns will gain plus 2 Vampiric Corruption anyway, but being able to spread it past our borders, very, very useful. Okay, that's everything for now then. Oh yeah, Aiden. Let's move you down here temporarily, because we should just about cover... Yeah, here we go, Pox Marsh. Can we now speak to them?
Are a problem.
It doesn't like me. It's slowly improving.
Killing them.
I'm sure you do, Harkin. Alright, let's have a look what the cost says. You kind of like me a little bit more, but not enough to do anything. Okay, never mind. Alright, let's go back into the Spirits of Athel quickly. Alright, let's see if this will help. Alright, now it's improving. Strange, it should have been improving before. Okay, hit enter. Right then, so, Battle of Ceran Field. So the battle begins then with two sides coming at each other, both the undead and the living, fighting each other at the field. During the battle then, what ends up happening is the Red Duke himself spots his brother, the king, by himself and alone, which kind of is a bit redundant when it's both, alone and by himself. But anyway, I'm running a little late with today's episode, so I'm trying to get through and, not really thinking as well as I should. Anyway, he sees his brother by himself, and he seizes the opportunity to attack him. So he orders his men, or warriors, to move aside, and he comes charging down at him, his lance, stained with the blood of Bretonnian knights. As he gets too close though, and despite the fact that he is a powerful vampire lord, only second to the former vampire Duke of Mousillon, Duke Merevec, if I remember the name right, he's still not strong enough to face the lady. And so as he gets close, he's blinded by the lady's light, and allows his brother the opportunity to actually impale him on his own lance. Yeah, I'm not too comfortable fighting this battle. I'm just going to skip it. Here we go. If she's hang on, is she sacked it, or is she going to try and come back for round 2? Okay, we'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that. So yes, with the Red Duke being impaled on his brother's lance thing, his army crumbled to dust. Those living warriors that sided with him retreat, and the battle is won by the loyal forces of Bretonnia. But our story still continues, at least a bit longer. For now, though, we get news that the Crooked Moon tribe have been obliterated. I was kind of hoping these guys will stick around a little longer, because again, while we're waiting for the 10 turns to go past since we broke our non-aggression pact, if we declared war on these guys, we would have also got bonuses from the Wood Elves. But for now, we'll just take that. Okay, Lords of Drakenhof have now got the Rights of Intrigue. Alright, Montfort, failed a mission, fine. Let's grab you. Actually, can we get within reinforcement range? I'm not too sure. We might just about do it. Let's put you here. Alright, we are taking attrition now, I can see. Alright, but now we've put you here.
You honor me.
Let's have a look.
Her will be done.
Aha! So we managed to drive them away now, because obviously we have a much more overwhelming force. We prevented our troops from taking attrition. As tempted as it would be to chase him down, we haven't got the troops to do it, so I'm not going to. Instead, if we grab Bolgers again, let's continue to level him up. You can go and attack him again, 60%. See how you do. Another success. Cool. Let's level them up to 9. We'll continue going for harder hits. Although it could be, we definitely want to try and get some replenished troops at some point. In fact, let's go for a level of that, just in case, you know? But there you go, that's you now done. We'll finish him off in the following turn. See if that might be enough to actually gain peace now with the Truthsayers Council. Not that fussed if we don't get it, to be honest with you, but I might as well try. Now, Aidan has now encountered Luther, so what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to send him over this way, and see if we can actually speak to Sartosa, just over here. Again, Vampire Coast, they might be willing to, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Eustache, unfortunately, where did those... Hang on. Where did this happen? Right, Helmgart, okay. I'll keep you around here instead. You can go and hunt a damsel for me. There we go. Another blood kiss. Alright, damaged buildings. We'll deal with those eventually. We've got 2,900. Let's have a look. Again, Bordelot. Let's grab the fence. Now that I've got the spare cash. Again, massive orc will keep it as it is. We've got 941, -2. I mean, we could always go for the public order, but it'll go down to 0 in 2 turns anyway. So I'm not too worried. Right. Let's leave Montfort alone for now. Just because I don't see the point of trying to do it in case it gets attacked again. So, well, I suppose we should. 820, that's going to be a fair bit of money though, isn't it? Yeah, we'll leave it for now. Right, so, to finish our story, the Battle of Ceran Fields is a victory for Bretonnia, but King Louis, after being forced to slay his own brother, the Red Duke, is, again, well, just like his people were, very upset and grieving for the fact that he's just killed his own brother. I mean, that's going to be a hurt for anybody, isn't it? Now, especially as his brother, the Red Duke, is a vampire. Now, right, normally when you want to finish off a vampire, make sure he doesn't rise from the dead, you want to do things like decapitate him, burn the bodies, stuff like that. And needless to say, that was the advice that was given by one of the prophetesses that joined his army, the prophetess Isabeau, if I remember right. However, she, despite her advice, he did not want to do that. He didn't want the memory of his brother, right, you know, this noble warrior that was loved by many people. He didn't want his to be forgotten, right? And so what he ended up doing, he actually built a statue of his brother, right, up on, I believe it was near Aquitane. And what they ended up doing was actually putting the body of the Red Duke inside the statue. Now, he still had the lance in him, so he was still impaled, but the prophetess insisted on casting spells and wards to make sure that the evil that's going to be trapped inside will never escape. And the king was willing to do that. So what ended up happening was the statue was built, and not long after he was entombed inside, the Red Duke awoke, found out and managed to get the lance out of him over time, and decided he was going to leave. He was going to escape. And found out he couldn't. And so he was stuck there for night after night after night for 500 years. Yeah, he, let's just say he went a bit crazy in there, which is not surprising when you think about it. Right, let's go through one more turn, and then we'll finish things for today. So, given what we've just had to think, it would be tempting to actually try and march up the fingers. Let's see about going up kind of this way. I just want to see how far his army was. If he's still in our territory next turn, we'll definitely finish off Duran. Let's have you level up a bit more. Continue chasing after them. Yeah, any second now? There we go. Another level up, and again, that army's just taking so many casualties now. If we had the ability to immobilize them,
I have seen your heart.
can you do that? I don't know. Let's have a look. He can block the army. It's unfortunate though that his movement, he's not skilled. This could be a good opportunity there. No, it's only 29% chance. You know what? Never mind. Let's just put you back in there. And I just noticed, did he not have replenished troops? Yeah. So if he replenishes troops, combine him with Bulgars, the two of them would be able to do a massive replenishment for Malobad.
What is your behest?
Yeah. Okay then, right. Now that we've built that, let's go ahead and demolish the Valley Fields. We'll do it actually once we've finished, I guess. Do we want any more units though? Not really. It'd be handy to get a couple of Graveguard. Sure, we'll grab 2 of them. We'll grab 3, why not?
I have seen your heart.
Right, so you've moved. Aiden's heading back. Eustache has successfully assassinated a character. So let's actually move you down towards Carcassonne. Alright, just so we can keep an eye out on here. I'll have to make sure we go after Alnwick soon. Right, let's actually go ahead and repair it this time. Hopefully we're not going to waste the cash doing this, but hey-ho. Okay, skill points. Bulgars, you could actually get dreaded reputation. To be honest, I don't know too sure about this. It will increase the speed of local enemy armies. I suppose it makes sense given it's talking about dreaded reputation, and just reading through some of the stuff here. A master of black arts who can flay your soul from your body with her words. An ogre who eats children raw. He's got a bad reputation, a scary reputation. Okay, that kind of makes sense. You would want to... If I had someone who I thought was going to eat me, I'd be wanting to run a bit faster, you know? Sure. Let's go for dreaded reputation. Alright, Nicolette. I'm going to give you the Restless Dead, an invocation of Nehek. Right. Let's hit end turn once more. And then I think we can actually finish off the Red Duke story now. So, after finding himself trapped in this tomb of his for 500 years, the Red Duke, like I said, is going kind of crazy in there. Eventually, though, he's actually released by a coven of, I want to say, wannabe witches and warlocks who thought that they could channel, essentially, the Red Duke's prowess into themselves, but instead end up weakening the bonds and awakening him. So, he escapes, slaughters them, and goes on a bit of a rampage. Now, because of his madness, though, he honestly believes that he's still perhaps gone back in time, and so ends up actually trying to reenact the campaign against Araby as well as the Battle of Ceran Fields, which, despite the fact that his advisors were telling him otherwise, he didn't want to listen. He simply wanted to reenact these campaigns, and so that's what he was doing. So he raised an army, he fought other warriors and that, turned some of them into vampires. I believe there was a guy called the Black Knight, not the guy from Monty Python, but another guy, who actually was like his lieutenant. I remember reading about that. But eventually he turns up at Ceran Fields, where there's actually a tomb to a legendary Grail Knight known as Gallant. So he turns up, he's planning to desecrate this tomb, but an army does stand in front of him to prevent him from doing that, and this guy is led by an aging Grail Knight called Gillen. Now, luckily, Grail Knights are kept vigorous by drinking from the Grail, but it means this guy has just been a Grail Knight for quite some time. So he's going to prevent this from happening, but again, we'll talk about it soon. Right, what happens with that final battle? For now, though, I think we'll bring today's episode to an end. So we managed to chase away Duran Duran, and that is his official name now, Duran Duran. Unfortunately, though, he's now run away. I'm not going to chase him to Corian, because that's going to cause diplomatic issues, which will lead them to declare war on us before I'm happy to deal with them. So I think at this point, what I'll do is start moving him back down towards Carcassonne. We may see about skipping ahead a couple of turns until we're in position to go after Brionnais. So, in fact, we'll get you marching now. Is it going to be quicker to do that way or this way? That is actually a very good question. It'd be about the same once they get back onto land anyway. Yeah, we'll have him do this. So what I may end up doing is skipping ahead a couple of turns until I'm in position to attack, and then we'll continue things from there with the attack on Carcassonne. But we'll see how it goes. In the meantime though guys, thank you very much for watching today's episode. I hope you enjoyed, and you do join me next time for some more Warhammer, and hopefully a bit more action as well. But until then everybody, take care, stay safe, and goodbye for now.